Hi stars, nice to see you here. Just going live a little bit. I you know, tried to put on something a little entertaining just so that it's not the same old boring visuals. We've got our Christmas tree rocking, and we've got our one of our Christmas gifts from work, which is this fresh eucalyptus. We have underpainted, right? We went in earlier with the e.l.f. camo concealer, hydrating camo concealer, satin finish in the shade light beige, right, for all the highlighting concealer places. And then we used the NYX Professional Makeup Wonder Stick in the shade Deep. Now, it's not the deepest, but it says it's deep, right? So one end is sort of this milk chocolate. Maybe it's a hair lighter than Hershey's milk chocolate. And then on the other end, it is this kind of gold highlight color, which may not really be what I'm looking for in a contour stick. I kind of want the other shade to be like my highlighting concealer, right? To brighten and deepen based on face structure. So from here, we're going to rock out with this W4 shade. Again, it might not be the right undertone of this MAC Studio Radiance Face and Body Radiant Sheer Foundation. The artistry of it is that once you place your highlight and your concealer, right, and blend that out to your satisfaction, give it one more look. Look it over. See what you're working with. See if the blend is what you want, right? If it's gathered in around your nostrils, just rub it out. If it's caked up in any creases around your eyes, just rub it out, right? We put some of the contour in our eye area. I think we could afford to maybe use a paler shade of the camo concealer. This is light ivory in the eye area, just to give a bright base for our eyeshadow to come. Maybe we're actually finally going to get through our eyeshadow today, because every time we get hungry, we get tired, we don't want to, we kind of put down one shade of eyeshadow and then, we tolerate a lot of mood and not laziness exactly, but you want to kind of live up to your plans, right? It's hard being consistent and posting on social media, but holiday time is the time to at least try, right? So just bounce out this concealer in the lid area, and you can see how much paler it is than the other concealer, right? Just wanted to get a bit of it on the lash line, just so that if we build out like a Douyin eye or something that's got, some color and some artistry under the eye, that we have a nice bright base. Anything extra we can kind of use under the cheek contour just to sharpen it up and brighten up that jaw, right? There goes our mirror again. I think the mirror is built to turn itself off in a certain amount of time. It's very much not run off of AC power, it's battery. So anyone who's out there in the market for a beauty mirror, I would definitely counsel getting one that isn't battery powered. Oh, hey, Cooper. What's going on? How are you doing? What you up to this fine holiday time? Just shaking up our sheer foundation, right? What's going on, Coops? What you doing? Are you buying cheap Tesla stock? A few drops of this in our dish. 1, 2. See what we can do with that. See if we need to go in with 3. Well, there's a party going on TikTok. I don't know if you know about it. The Black women have gotten themselves together to like, follow, and share each other. And it's helping us get our numbers up. But there's some, agitation and drama, not among all, but some people have decided to be offended by it, where, if it were Asian or South Asian women kind of gathering electronically to say, hey, let's follow and support each other. Let's have our timeline look more like ourselves. Would it be the same kind of hue and cry? And, you know, accusations of victimhood and racism. I'm not sure. But, you know, it certainly is creating the kind of controversy that allows people to create more posts and have opinions about the matter. And I think that is helpful to the creative process. Because, oh, hi, Carly Churcher. Thank you for joining. I'm so charmed that you're here to see my makeup experiments. You can see how this light concealer has made my eyes look a little odd. Not smaller, not larger, but, you know, we're priming. We're laying down some primer so that we can have a nice brightening base so that hopefully the colors in our eyeshadow will, you know, kind of show up in a more dramatic fashion. Now, we focusing properly on my face? I hope so. But quick, let's get some eyeshadow on so we don't look so strange. Is that enough? Is that enough of the foundation to cover up that contour line? Is looking a little bit harsh. Let's go in with drop number 4 specifically, just to make sure that that contour right here on the face isn't jumping out and looking like geometry, right? We want artistry, not geometry, right? When we back up from the camera, are we looking like, you know, tones that marry together? Are we looking a little bit pale? You know, there's something in the system of undertones with MAC Cosmetics. Oh, thank you, Curly Kircher. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate you. The Hattie McDaniel look. Well, that's not what I'm going for. You know, part of it is that it's cold, right? The other part is that I put on a hoodie and I didn't want to mess up my hair. And then I thought it looked cute, so I didn't take it off. I don't think it's Hattie McDaniel. Although, you know, Hattie McDaniel is not a bad reference. Did you watch, what is the guy that makes Ryan Murphy's Hollywood? Carmen Miranda is also another reference. But in Ryan Murphy's Hollywood, you know, I happened to be on set for one version of the scenes with Hattie McDaniel's character, and it was very interesting because it seemed to indicate that Hattie McDaniel was, shall we say, someone who had a more experimental sexual and gender identity than I would have expected. So let's go crazy. Let's use this yellow, which is quite bright in the palette. Let's see if we can use this to kind of map out our... I don't know if this is the crease exactly. We're kind of wanting to build this color above the crease. We have a hooded eye, and we want to, you know, think about the colors in our chignon. Tignon? Is that how you pronounce it? In New Orleans, after emancipation, Black and mixed race women, you know, wore colorful scarves in their hair. And there was some kind of legislation that sought to restrict them from, you know, doing too much and looking too cute, kind of adorning their hair with fabrics or beads or different things. Hattie went both ways. You know, Cooper, you're just so, you know, you're so on the nose. I won't say crass. You're just an on the nose kind of guy. I was trying to be a little bit, anyway, it was a fun scene to be on deck for because I certainly didn't know or understand that about her. And, you know, I think people look at her as, you know, that character, that maid, that kind of mammy type, and try to imagine that she was, you know, somehow asexual, right? And I think that actresses, there was a woman who played Malcolm's wife on One Life to Live. If you're a soap person, please feel free to comment down below. I forget the name of the actress, but she was the first person who was cast to play Hattie McDaniel in Ryan Murphy's Hollywood. And I hadn't seen her in years. She had gotten married and I think had a baby and kind of been out of the scene, and this was going to be her comeback role. But by the time the show got to air on Netflix, she had been replaced by Queen Latifah. And, you know, I just felt really bad for her because she's really very, 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 very good. And I think as a darker skinned actress of size, it's not like you have a ton of roles of that stature, and, you know, that they got someone famous to replace her. I don't know if that's based on performance or, you know, wanting to kind of get the attention of people in the award nominating and bestowing places. But, you know, Hollywood's an interesting place, right? And this very pale, better to play a maid than be one. Okay, sure. But, you know, a lot of our female women forebears, you know, that was often the only kind of job that was available to them, like in the rural South, etc. So I don't think there's shame in an honest day's work if you are in a position to have to work outside the home, right? Just based on economics, based on whether or not, you know, whether you had a man and whether that man was in a position to earn to support the family, right? But just look how that yellow is just screaming out, matching the tones in this scarf, right? Look at that contour. Cheekbone, jawline, yellow. That's right. Yellow as can be, right? And if we stopped here, right, with just this one color, well, but there was another actress. Cooper, if you can, just look up, I don't even know if the woman made it into the credits, but she was Malcolm's, I think, wife on The Young and the Restless. The late Christian St. John had, I think, had a marriage with her at some point, this actress that was Hattie McDaniel, at least, I guess, the first Hattie McDaniel in that project. And, you know, I felt bad that she got replaced, but I don't know if it was based on performance or any other negotiation. I didn't know if it was appropriate for me to, like, reach out to her on Instagram or anything like that. You know, and as we do, I kind of got distracted and, like, caught up in other things. But, you know, it lets you know what's possible. This is a Morphe M321 brush, right? We had been messing with it yesterday, so it has some color on it. Cooper, what should we use next? If our base color is yellow, should we go in with blue or with orange? What do you think? Here is almost a black on the end. We have some orange tones in this scarf. We don't have purple in this palette, so there's two different oranges. Let's go in with the deeper one, just to keep Cooper entertained, since he's so kind to join in our lives. And this is what you call a pencil brush. Orange, yes, we did. We went in with the deeper, more saturated orange. Hello, username. And we're wanting to kind of stamp this on, not to disturb the yellow, but to make sure that we're building it out in a shape that reaches out toward the tail end of our brow, right? Thinking of our eyeshadow idol, Smitha Deepak, who does beautiful work on hooded eyes, on brown skin, and with, you know, always reliable artistry where you can look respectable and not like a clown. Because sometimes these, you know, makeup palettes go completely bananas. And, you know, if you're not careful, right, as a hooded eye person, it's important to look at your eye open, right? Looking directly ahead. This is, for reference, this is the LA Girl Fierce and Wild eyeshadow palette. Such an exciting cover. Such an exciting color story, right? Orange and yellow. Who'da thunk it? Wanting to build this up and out in a way that enhances our eye shape. And then we're going to grab a clean brush and get our blend on. And then we're going to get the excitement of some kind of shimmer going. And boy, does this palette give us a host of different shimmers and a level of excitement that, you know, you want your eyeshadow to look exciting. You know, when you're going out to dinner with someone interesting, you don't want them to be bored by your beauty look. Oh no, never that. You want your beauty look, your headscarf, your jewelry game, right? The thermal shirt from Costco. You can get these 32 degrees heat thermal shirts. This one is a boat neck gray one, and then I put this kind of funky bralette over it just to provide some visual excitement for you, my beloved stars, my viewing audience. I just don't want you to be like, oh, boring, plain Jane. No, I want you to be like, wow, that's an exciting get up. You know, we can take risks. Why? Because we're not at work. Oh no, we're here at the crib. We're in the beauty atelier doing it our way. We don't gotta worry. We don't gotta like stress about somebody else's aesthetic, right? Can we use the same brush? Blue. Yes, we're gonna get into some blue in a minute, but right now, you know, step by step, Cooper, you gotta use your brush and blend out edges so that you don't have harsh lines. And your blend can take a minute, right? You don't want to abuse your skin. You just want to make sure that that orange and that yellow meet and collaborate. You don't want anyone to say, wow, it just looks like she slapped on that makeup and didn't blend, because the blending is the point, right? The whole notion of a smoky eye, shimmer. Okay, I'll get to that. But we got to take a minute for the blend, because, you know, some people put tape here to make a nice sharp line. So far, I haven't really gotten into that. I kind of freehand it. And I know everyone's getting impatient. So let me just concentrate and blend each eye. Now, should I put that blue on the outer V? I kind of attempted to do an outer V with this orange, but maybe the blue can kind of live within, because if I go in with a blue shimmer, username wants orange. We've got orange down. No worries. What we're trying to do is figure out where to put our shimmer and our blue, because it would be a little bit too much to put a blue shimmer on the inner corner, because then the heaviest weight in terms of color and saturation would be in the inner part of the eye. Blue is the opposite of orange. Well, according to this palette, blue definitely should be a part of the eyeshadow story, right? I don't think it'll look muddy if we very carefully use our pencil brush, right? Looking at our lids, we could even think about using blue on an angled brush as an eyeliner, right? Hold on 1 second. Let me find the appropriate angled brush. Yes. Don't worry, people. I've found it. Here we have a sharp brush, right? This is an e.l.f. small angled brush. This is exactly what we need to deliver an eyeliner look. And maybe that's what we can do. Maybe we can do it with this black and then go over it with a blue shimmer. Or should we just rock out with, here's a cobalt, but it's a shimmer. It's a risk, but I think we can risk it. We can risk it for the biscuit, because I don't want Cooper to be bored by our makeup, right? But looking into our mirror, turning on our battery powered mirror, looking at our eye and stamping on a wing. I don't know if that's enough blue payoff. Stamping on a wing, right? Looking at the inner corner, stamping on an inner corner flick, right? In the real world, we should have gone on our lids with some kind of pencil and then set it with this blue, but we just don't want to cancel out or make what we've done with our yellow and orange muddy, right? But you can see that blue jumping out at you. It's a bright blue, it's a shimmer blue. And it makes me think, gosh, you know, if I had actually gone on stage and performed with that woman who did that Mr. Spicy video, I don't know if you saw any of those videos on my Instagram, but there were so many delays because of the global panini, different people getting infected, and, you know, by a certain point I had to go back into my testing cadence at work. So I couldn't run the risk of continuing. I think that looks quite nice. What do you think, Cooper? And our other friends? That blue is just, it's a very divinely bright blue, right? And just in terms of technique, if I had gone over either a liquid, a gel, or a pencil that was blue with this bright blue, it would have even more staying power. Now, other side. In our Smitha Deepak way, we just want to stamp it in a way that doesn't compete with the hood of our eye, right? We have a hooded eye. Some people would call it a deep set eye. But I think that we can kind of lovingly stroke this across the lash line and also in the inner corner. And because we're at home, we're not necessarily wanting to get into like lashes and mascara and a whole bunch of things that'll end up all over our face as we continue to contemplate going to the gym. Now we can use the same brush to take this color a little bit. We ran the yellow under there. Let's get a little bit of this blue under the eye. Not all the way, but in a way that evokes Cleopatra and Carmen Jones. And as Cooper said, Carmen Miranda. Is this taking it out of Hattie McDaniel in Gone with the Wind territory? You know, I have a friend from work who says that Gone with the Wind is her favorite movie. And, you know, when I didn't know her that well, I was like, oh, that's interesting, right? I did hear that Gone with the Wind was made in a period of time when they used incandescent bulbs, right? Can you imagine how hot it must have been on set with incandescent bulbs? Okay, Coops. I like this blue. What do you think, people? Please feel free to comment in the chat. But I think this was a responsible use of the blue that doesn't kind of mess up the emphasis that the orange gives us on the outer corner. Now, you have a lot of other tones in here, neutrals, shimmers, and more. But I think we can grab some kind of paddle brush. This is Eco Tools. It has a little silicone end for glitters, I guess, but it has a little cat's paw on this end. What kind of shimmer should we get into the inner part of this eye? We have a white, we have a gold, we have more of a bronze shimmer. We just use the blue shimmer to make our eyeliner, and we have this kind of more of a pinky gold. Maybe we'll rock with the pinky gold. Let's see what that's working with, right? Let's see what it's giving. You know, we just want it to give. We don't want to mess up anything we've done, but we do want to apply shimmer so that it brings even more light. Uh-oh. to the inner part of the eye. I have to replace this mirror. But not messing up our blue, but using that shimmer in the inner corner of the eye and the inner part of the lid, just like a bird's wing, reaching over into, I guess, the very top of the lid and making sure. Some people say use your finger. I personally, I like using a brush. I have brushes. I like the way that you can kind of, I would use my finger if I felt like I wasn't getting enough payoff, but this is a very nice, moist. I don't hate this shadow without the gold, but with the gold, it just adds even more interest when you turn your head. Imagine being out at dinner. Imagine being on a red carpet, right? That's what we practice our makeup for, right? We never know what will be demanded of us at work, right? And in service of our work, right? I see so many people who've practiced their posing and their makeup. They've been working on their fitness and health. And so when they have to go on the red carpet for a project, oh, they're ready. They are ready, Freddy, right? And they manage to make it look effortless. And I think that's the best that we can, strive for in all of our careers. Lupe Valdez. I'm not sure who that is. But we can take a smidgen of this glitter and get it under the inner part of the lid, right? It's almost like a bronze that can delight the eye of your dining companion. When you're sitting on set with people, sometimes there's a way that you can kind of engage them in a way that even they're surprised at how cute you look, how surprisingly, sort of interesting your makeup can look. Here is a very tiny, this is not a suitable brush for doing eyeliner because it's too wide, right? But in the spirit of Douyin makeup from our friends in China, I think that we can take maybe not the darkest brown, but one of these browns. What they seem to like to do in their makeup is create a line under the eye, right? Almost suggesting tiredness. I don't know if I did that exactly right, but it kind of takes more territory, right? This eye is very simple, but by creating a layered look, it almost suggests the way that folks who have an epicanthic fold sometimes have a kind of shelf under the eye that, I guess round-eyed people don't tend to have, but this allows you to steal that look and create more of a shelf and a shadow under the eye. Again, taking more territory for your eye, creating the appearance of fat under the eye, right? Which is such an interesting concept. In the West, we're always trying to cancel out bags and darkness under the eye, but in the East, there's this notion of building more eye, more structure to the eye. I think that looks fabulous. In any case, let's get the condom back into this very valuable palette. It is such just a raucous kind of orchestra of color, and I think we did something exciting here. Now, we need to balance this out with a lip color and get into some kind of like blush. So we just grabbed one of these vinyl, Maybelline Superstay Vinyl Ink shades, right? We can put our eyeshadow palette aside, right? Get our hand mirror in hand and get on this liquid vinyl. Oh, that's fabulous and bright. And it matches colors in our what? chignon or scarf. Uh-oh, there goes the mirror again. We're not even lining it. We're just getting it on. And this product promises to dry down and not get on our mask. If we had lined it, it would have given us a little bit of a brown effect on the edge, but I don't even think we need to go crazy with that. We have this Desert Rose blush from MAC that we've never used. Now, is this something that will bring out some tones that exist in our scarf as well? What is the proper brush? I don't know, but look, we went back to the 99-cent store and got yet another brush. This is a tapered brush, $1.29, because, you know, inflation, right, Cooper? Our foundation is looking a little bit cool, a little bit neutral, given the color of our neck. But this might be just fine for getting on blush. Take the wrapper, toss it aside. We're trying to barrel and finish this makeup look so that everyone can get on with the rest of their, what is today? Is it Tuesday? You can understand I've been in a bit of a kind of tizzy trying to do all of my different social media. Right, you want that blush nice and high on the cheek. Desert Rose, right? We looked at Doja Cat and her Instagram today. She brings her blush right up to the eye, right? Almost like we're performing on stage in Kabuki Theater, right? Right up to the eye. Other side, right up to the eye, right? People credit Kylie Jenner with this pink blush near the eye. This is Desert Rose, and on my kind of yellow-orange skin, it's giving bright. Doesn't look this bright in the actual palette, but it really looks lovely on the skin. Right on the chin. Back up from it. On the forehead, where the sun might hit the forehead, either on the sides or in the middle. Right? The whole notion of enough makeup. Don't leave anything to chance. I like my blush on the top of my nose. Some people like it on the tip of their nose for that, what do they call it, cold girl look. I think that putting blush on the tip of my nose makes me look like I've been sniffing cocaine. What do you think, Cooper? You know, I want to look healthy. I want to look like I've been in the sun. I don't want to look like I have a problem. I quite like this. Should our last bit of experiment be to try a little brown lip liner in combination with this? This brush is a win. $1.29. I'm so glad I grabbed one for travel and one for, here's a dope lip pencil from Mented. Is this the right choice? Or should we find our Maybelline tried and true liner? Can we find it? Let's see. Let's see if we try to rock with this, if it's going to come off on top of this, because it's looking a little bit bright, a little bit floating in space. This isn't the darkest color, but let's see if we can make it work, just so that we move things along here and I'm not leaving you all in jeopardy. You know, a lot of women on TikTok are saying that eyeliners work better as lip liners. Oh, thank the Lord. We have found our Cocoa lip liner from our friend Iman. Saving the day. So, just looking at the edge of these lips, they've dried down somewhat. Right? Trying to ground this lip color. Doja Cat posted something where the corners of her lips were colored in black. Oh, and it looked incredible. But, you know, that's more like fantasy makeup. Let me stop talking because I'm ruining the shape. I thought it looked fine before. We're just seeing, can we make it even more compelling, right? Yeah, it would have been better to do this in reverse. But I think that we can. Inflation in the nation is a sad situation. Of course. It's shocking to see, you know, just using the end of this lip liner just to blend in the liner and lip color. You know, vegetables and fruits so expensive. And we're definitely in a period of high health risk, right? But I'm shocked to still see people, you know, running around, going to Vegas, doing it all. Oh dear. We definitely overlined in a way that looks crazy. Okay, so let's use our beauty sponge. This is our old one, not the new one, right? Let's see if we can correct this situation, right? Some people say that's where the artistry gets involved, when you can not only experiment with makeup, but fix it when it goes wrong. I'm not the biggest fan of overlining. I try it and then I get played like this. So just cleaning up the edges, bringing our lip shape back to normal, turning our mirror back on. I don't hate that. Should our last step be adding a gloss? This is the MAC lip glass, right? Getting that in the middle of the lip, right? I know Cooper likes a shiny lip. If I saw you across a room at a party, would this glossy brown and pink lip evoke something that would make you feel compelled to cross the room and speak to me? I dropped something on the floor. I don't even know what it was. I'm very impressed by this whole look. We could have gotten into a lash. We could have gotten into a mascara, but let's just sit back and appreciate, in combination with this saucy outfit, this earring, these bracelets, a fun look, right? You're around the house, you're making pancakes. Why not put on an interesting scarf? If people want to make their jokes about, you know, Hattie McDaniel and all that, Aunt Jemima, let them. This is part of the American legacy, and covering your hair with an interesting scarf is part of our tradition, right? Something brightly colored and crocheted, something to set off the colors in this makeup. Look at how that blue, orange, and yellow pop, that inner corner shimmer. Think of the possibilities, right? When you have colors in your clothes or in your scarf, it gives you a new palette for the day. Something to use to add interest. You know, this blush color looked quite, it looked a little dull in the pan, but on the skin, it really does give pink. It says Desert Rose Matte, and it does give matte. Is this a time where we could consider going in with some kind of highlighter on top of it? Are we going to go absolutely bananas? Let's use our new brush, right? We got this Smoke and Mirrors bronzer. Well, no, this is a highlighter. It has no label on it, but it's 2 tones. If we try to rock with the paler one, right, so as not to muddy up the pink, let's see, right? High point of the cheek. Let's look into our mirror. Ah. Let's see, let's get some on the brush for real. I can definitely see it on my skin. Other side. Right? To make that cheek jump out even higher, right? Tip of the nose. Cupid's bow. Bridge of the nose. Above the brow arch. Above the brow arch. And the point is that when you turn your head, the highlighter should not only give you more dimension, right? It should delight the eye with some unexpected light play, right? That's what makeup is about. It's light and shadow. It's how much your colors and textures absorb and reflect light. Big red nose, hardly that. Is that some sort of fetish that you're discussing, Cooper? I think I look delightful. The tone is a bit off. We could also use a bronzer, right, to try to bring the tone of our skin, right? We have a couple of these matte finish bronzers, but I think they might be too dark. These are the L'Oreal Infallible, but I think that might be a little bit too much. Let's see if we can rock with the Avani Gregg Vacation Hawaii shade, right? This might be a little bit more in the realistic ballpark, using our same blush brush, right? Cooper likes your lips, all of them. Ha ha ha. So nasty. Anyway, just getting on this bronzer shade, keeping in mind the placement of our contour, right? And just warming up the face a little bit more just to bring back the yellow tones that are native to our complexion that were perhaps canceled out when we got into these complexion products, right? Bronzer, it can warm up your foundation, right? People talk about bringing back warmth in the face. Just going over and reinforcing where the blush is. Another shot of the outfit. Outfit such as it is. I actually have a hoodie tied around my waist, but this is like a bralette over a thermal shirt from Costco. Yes, our friends at Costco. All of the wardrobe people that outfit cast members on set in thermals just go to Costco, and they just have a range of sizes of thermals. So you never need to suffer during the winter. Just throw on a thin layer of thermal and you'll be rocking and rolling. Just like your favorite stars, right? If we really go crazy with this bronzer, right, then we've restored the warmth robbed from our complexion by this W4. We may require a C4. Just, I think that in the MAC world, the letter that is the opposite of what your skin tone is what you need, right? I see people swirl their bronzer in circles, but this is so nice. It's Morphe Avani Gregg. She did a collab luminous bronzer, right? So it's a little bit of highlighter, a little bit of bronzer in a way that makes this makeup look more native to our face and lets the brightness of the center of the face jump out. That brown grounded the pinkness of our lips. And it all complements these exciting color and style choices that I've made here tonight in honor of our friend Hattie McDaniel and in honor of, we're always thinking about our beauty and our makeup and clothing and hair because we are working in a visual medium. And, you know, we always want to respect our audience. I want to keep Cooper and everyone else who was kind enough to show up for my live entertained. I want you to think I'm doing something interesting so that, you know, when it's time to do housework or take a shower, a cute, clever scarf can be part of the fun, right? My mirror keeps failing me. But yeah, I replace the batteries and like day by day, it just doesn't get bright anymore. This mirror has to be replaced. But in any case, thank you for joining me on my live. You know, I do want to say a word of remembrance for the late Sonya Eddy, who was such a wonderful and able performer on General Hospital since 2006. She passed away at the age of 55, which is not old. There is no cause of death released, but, you know, certainly she brought her artistry to a bunch of other roles, and I believe, you know, she paved the way for the very beautiful, dark-complected new Trina on the show, who has one of the hottest, like, romantic pairings going anywhere in the soap world right now. But, you know, sometimes you have to get people used to dreadlocks and dark skin and high cheekbones and heart and beauty and the emotion that an actor can share, and that makes people comfortable so you can push it even further. You know, it's like before Shamar Moore, there was Christophe St. John. Before Christophe St. John, there were any number of, you know, African American beautiful men like Harry Belafonte, you know, and it all contributes to this kind of like hive mind of being comfortable and kind of positioning your audiences to embrace performers and their characters and all of that. I also want to encourage everyone to keep an eye on the Tesla stock price because whew, it's going down, down, down. And if you want to give someone a fun present, a cheap bit of Tesla stock might be a fun thing to share, especially with the men in your lives who might be, you know, very, very interested in like stock and day trading and all that kind of stuff. In any case, I'm going to hop off. I had one cookie. Maybe I'll have another one. It's within the serving size. I should go to the gym though. So, oh, and I have a phone call to make. That's right. I have to talk to a chaplain. In any case, I'll see you soon. Thank you for joining me. Woo! And I will see you on the next episode of House of Tanya. Camera ready. All right. Be well, stay safe, enjoy your holiday. Bye.